Shh. Don't do it.
It didn't record.
Yeah, it's on right now. Hey, y'all.
Hola!
I'm here, held hostage against my will.
Yeah, right. She here for that dinar money. Gang, gang. Who is this?
Book it. A Bookit.com all-inclusive vacation means all meals.
Hello? Hello?
Yes.
You called me. What's going on?
I was told to call this number.
Oh, that's, I think, your person from earlier?
Is this, hold on. Is this Kenneth Sales?
No.
Who is this?
You're on live.
You're listening to the show, so who is this?
This is Brad.
Okay, Brad. How can I help you? Okay, well, if you're not prepared when you call, I can't help you, Brad. Sorry.
He already hung up.
I don't care. He's an idiot. Why would you call someone? I was told to call this. I'm not trying to be rude, but he just called me. I said, you called me. I didn't call you. Who are you? Sorry. I have no tolerance for that. I have zero. Sorry, Brad. Call back. And you were yelling on me. You better come on. For real.
I think you know who that was, but that's just...
Brad who?
Go ahead, say your intro.
Brad who? Who are you talking about?
The person that was just on your phone a minute ago said they were going to be calling. You don't remember that downstairs? And maybe he didn't want his name to be aired.
I don't know who. No, I read their name right there.
I know they didn't probably want their name being read. But remember, you were on a phone call earlier downstairs. Who was that guy you were talking to? I don't know.
My bad.
And
I'm sorry.
He said he said, I'm going to give him the number. So.
George, I'm sorry. Brad, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go there with you. I'm not trying to call you an idiot, but if you guys are going to give me some like secretive information, give it to me in a sense that I know what's going on, okay? I have no clue. I'm doing a lot of things right here, and we're live right now, so I apologize, Brad. And if you want to leave a message or call back, please do. If you don't, I understand. My bad, okay? I apologize. Woo! It's Friday night. I just got paid. Party's jumping. You ready?
They said that was Vital Brad.
That was Vital Brad. Nah, he went live last night, y'all. Y'all didn't listen to his moves and grooves?
No, he was calling you. Vital Brad was calling.
He was?
Yeah.
Well, call back, Brad.
Next caller. There's a hater on the line. No, he's okay, go ahead. Anyway.
First off, I want to thank you guys for being anywhere in the world, but you're right here with us. And you know what it is. Ladies first.
I am April BB.
And you know who I am. I am Mr. Brando. I thank you guys for tuning in to the status of the Iraqi Dinar.
Yeah, see?
Sorry. Brad, call us back. I don't know who Kenneth is, but he's an ass. But Brad, call me back.
Don't name call.
I'm not name calling. I'm just saying, y'all, okay? Tonight's show is about transparency, okay? So I thought I would start the show off with a few tidbits that I had learned through looking up some different, business terms and some terms about things that we talk about all the time, the system, and what does that mean, and what does it mean to be, in the know and this and that. So my whole thing tonight was transparency, and transparency is defined just like this. Transparency as used in a science, engineering, business, humanitarians, and in other social contexts is operating in such a way that it's easy for others to see what actions are performed. Transparency implies openness, communication, and accountability. Y'all, this show is all about transparency. Even when I'm right, I'm not right. Even when I'm wrong, I'm always wrong. If I'm not listening to you guys, and I apologize to that last caller, I apologize because I did not listen to him correctly, and when I did, I screwed it up. So, tonight's show is all about what are they telling us and what does it mean. Okay? Now, conversely, when you have transparency, you have something called opaque. Opaque means not able to be seen through, not transparent. So, do you see the dichotomy? Today's thumbnail is almost a yin and a yang because in one instance, they tell us everything. In the next instance, they tell us absolutely nothing. And that's where a lot of you new denarians are coming into it because you feel opaque. You feel like you're navigating a sea of things that don't make a lot of sense. And you're hearing a lot of information from a lot of different people. I'm not going to call them gurus. I'm going to call them people that are supposedly in the know or on a channel or something you watch. And you don't understand what you're seeing, okay? So I think that we have to understand what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish. What we're all trying to accomplish, whether it be your favorite person you listen to on YouTube or just me, we're all trying to accomplish the same thing, which is get you to the bank, get you to exchange, and get you some money in your pocket. That's it, okay? That's it, okay? So with that, you want to start with news?
Go for it.
Okay, so the news that I saw earlier, I thought this was a big time thing. Go ahead.
Kenneth Sells got some news from my contact at Chase Bank in Georgia. They said that they will have memos out tomorrow reading foreign exchange. Take it with a grain of salt.
Kenneth, babe, will you give him my phone number again, please? Kenneth, will you call me? Because if it's Brad, I don't know who Brad is, but Kenneth, will you call me? Okay. Okay. I think everybody's wondering what the thumbnail means about the Iraqi float. So I'm going to start with that article, okay?
Okay.
A member of the Committee of Economy and Investment Parliamentary, Abdullah Al-Qaib, said in a statement in Tigris, the Iraqi can borrow more money because of the size of its budget. Like countries like Qatar, which paid huge debts because of loans during the establishment of gas projects until the citizens became one of the country's largest debt before to become one of the richest rich. Meaning that, remember what happened to Kuwait? Kuwait borrowed, then revalued. Or they didn't borrow. They revalued, then borrow. Iraq is different. So they're saying they're going to be one of the most rich. And in being the most rich, they don't need to borrow first. They need to get established first and then borrow. Okay, so Rich, after the end of the gas project, and pointed out that Iraq is a military state because of the volume of spending of the security and military side, where the budget focused on 2019 on defense and the interior and the crowd, and neglected the sectors and services of interest of the citizens, and pointed out the Iraqi bleed money go and do not return to borrowing. So they're saying they bleed too much money and don't borrow. Oil, he said, except for gold, everything from import to value of Iraq, front of difficult options as it case dumping of the Iranian and Turkish goods, making unable to produce anything. So what this article is basically telling you guys is that Iraq should not buy anything from Turkey or Iran and dump it all and focus on what they're good at. That Iraq may be forced to float the dinar and dispense with 2/3 of the state employees of large borrowing to establish projects to promote the country's situation. So this person is going out there from Tigris and saying they should just go ahead and float the dinar from where it is, which is 1190. That's not a reinstatement, that's a float. And that float's not a bad thing, y'all. I mean, a float can be a very good thing because at least it's a starting point. You feel me? So if you guys have a starting point, you know an ending point, right? Okay. Parliamentary Finance intends to reduce the sale of hard currency and open the auction file. Now, I've always said this about the auctions, the auctions are bad. The auctions are counterintuitive to what we're trying to do, because what the auctions do is reintroduce the auctioneer or the auctionee against the dollar. So it artificially suppresses the amount of the dinar. You feel me? If you're giving me dinar, but I'm giving you dollar, I'm suppressing the money you're giving me. Auctions have to stop, okay? So now, I told you guys last week, and I'm going to say it one more time, Iraq is on the firing seat, whether it may be next week or the week after that or whatever. The government's going to be filled with technocrats, and with those technocrats is going to bring a new way of thinking, not proxies, which are Maliki stand-ins or Abadi stand-ins, which are no more but the same thing. We all know Abadi was guilty. I mean, damn, he had 50,000 ghost officers out there, and he was out there not doing a damn thing about it. So Abadi's not the person you need to look to. Jaburi, darn sure the old Speaker of the House is not the person you need to look to. Sauter is a person that may be under fire because of his bark might not be as good as his bite, but at least he's trying to make strides to make things happen for the country. And with that, you have to give him at least a little bit of a kudos, because he's blocked a lot of things that's going on. The source said in an interview for the Asami News, the Finance Committee will work in the next few days to open the follow-up auction currency in order to codify the bank in the sale of hard currency, which the central bank, noting that it's unfair that the bank sold more than 300 million dinars per day without reflecting on the service and imports of the customs and taxes to maintain the exchange rate. My point exactly. So if I sell you all this money, I artificially suppress all my money. It's not fair to the citizens. It's not fair to everybody out there that's working every day there. It's not fair to anybody. Okay? Now, I don't like sources that don't like to be named, but this one said we don't want to be named. This caused great damage to the Iraqi economy as it inputs through which are compensated state budgets, noting that the Finance Committee is taking urgent measures to reduce the sale of the Central Bank of Iraq currency, amounting to 100 million dinars daily instead of 300. So at least they're trying to cut it down by 2/3. Okay? It's noteworthy that the central bank is conducting daily meetings to buy and sell foreign currency except public holidays, which stops the bank from these auctions. The auctions need to stop, period. I think they need to go from $100 million to like $50 million, because the more you introduce the USD into Iraq, the more you suppress the Iraqi dinar. Cut it down to 50 million. If you can do 100 million, do 50 or 75, right? Now, the salaries of 13 ministers in the body in the region. The Ministry of Finance announced on Wednesday the state of the 13 ministries in the Kurdistan region for the, I can't read that right now, Municipal Electricity Transport and Communication Planning, Agricultural Exchange Office of Finance Supervision, Human Rights Kurds area. So basically the Kurds are trying to, we saw that the other day, the Kurds are trying to really establish their tolls, their tariffs, their taxes, and now they're trying to get involved, and it definitely looks like to be 13 ministers. The National Bank, the number of companies benefiting from the project informative reached 300 companies. Iraqi National Bank announced on Thursday that the number of companies benefiting from the initiative to support small and medium enterprises launched the Central Bank Iraq reached 300 companies. That's good, because that's going to activate the medium and small businesses are going to activate the private sector. So we need that to happen. A plan in the next 3 years includes several strategic directions to improve the financial performance of the bank and its infrastructure. So again, we always talk about not just the bank, but what it does and the infrastructure which it holds itself to. So they need more people to get involved with the bank, which is loaning money and taking deposits. That's just elementary, okay? Director of the Iraqi National Bank, Amin Abu Al-Hil, in a televised dialogue sponsored by the Association of Iraqi Private Banks. The rest of the dialogue was follows. What is the nature of the work of the Iraqi National Bank? The Iraqi National Bank was established in 1985, has a capital of 250 billion Iraqi dinars, which is a minimum required by the central bank. So what they're telling you is this bank is cooperating with the international systems in which they want them to. Now, since established, the bank has developed all aspects dealing with various economic sectors. How much is the share of NCB's partners, Capital Bank of Jordan, Capital Bank of Iraq? Through this partnership, the bank has access to the world, with Capital Bank as its main correspondent as a technical, human, and banking support to provide through Capital Bank. It's a bunch of banking crap. I'm sorry. Bang, 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 bang. It's going to be simplified. This article is so long. Now, we're going to go to the next article because this banking thing, y'all, let's talk about banking. So, does Chase Bank advertise?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Does Bank of America advertise?
Mm-hmm.
Does Wells Fargo advertise?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So in Iraq, why don't the 2 or 3 major private banks just go out and solicit business from the Iraqi citizens?
Well, I wonder do they watch TV the way Americans watch TV?
Well, even if they don't, let's just say they're all internet based off their phones and off of small devices like tablets and iPhones. Do you watch cable?
Not really.
Okay, you're not Iraqi, are you?
No.
Okay. So in Iraq, because there's probably no cable, what do you think they watch?
I kind of feel like they read, honestly.
I mean, read or watch YouTube possibly, or I mean, it may be censored. I don't know, right?
Right. So, the children may watch television, but for some reason, I'm feeling like they don't.
I just feel like they're so uninformed because the internet, A, is sanctioned and censored, and B, because it's just so difficult to get on board because it's not always on.
Got a call from Vegas.
We got a call from Vegas. Let's see who this is. Let's do it here. Hello?
Call from
Zach.
Zach. Hey, Zach, you're live.
Hey, how you doing? If I can get you to kind of help me out, I'm a little bit nervous.
Don't be nervous, Zach. Just spit it out, bro.
So I've had a few visions. I've had visions my whole life.
Okay.
God's always kind of spoken. I'm a very strong believer in the Lord Jesus Christ.
Okay.
And I've never seen it to where so many people across America, and I'm sure worldwide, are all receiving visions and getting signs about this money going.
Okay.
So I'll give you kind of a backstory. I'm active duty. I've been active duty for about 17 years.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I bought my Iraq money in 2004. I was actually deployed to Kuwait. And when I was in Kuwait, I was pretty much at the embassy. And everybody at the embassy talked about was buying Iraq money, buying Iraq oil exchange. Back then, you used to be able to buy into the actual locations of oil. But everybody was buying up the Iraq money. They talked about Kuwait in the 1989, 1990. And so I bought about $2 million, and I sat on mine since 2004. And I was actually trying to get rid of it 5-6 years ago because it wasn't going. And it's just been sitting in boxes up until I got my first vision that I received, which was January of 2017, right when Trump took office. And I was at work, just doing my normal routine, and a voice, and I'll put this on my life, I'll put it on my daughter's life, and I'll swear on everything on the Bible. This is what happened. A voice spoke to me inside my head and said, "It's gonna go up." That was all it said to me. And so back when 2004, the Iraqi Dinar was like negative 1,400 or something. So I looked it up online, and it was at like negative 12 something. So, I began buying more. And then that was my first, I guess you can call it a vision, but it wasn't a vision. It was a day voice. So I've never had a day voice before. My second one was a dream, or was a vision. So the difference between a dream and vision is, for me at least, visions are very powerful. Visions, I could feel the Spirit of God, and it's so powerful that I don't get to fall asleep that day. So it's so energizing. There's so much power that comes into you that I pretty much just get up and start my day, because I'm not going to be able to go back to bed. But so I'm kind of getting teary-eyed right now. So trying to not crack here, but
don't crack. Yeah, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Do you see in color?
Yes. It's not only in color, they're bright. It's very, very bright. And a lot of times when I do get my visions from God, most of my visions are corrective visions. If I've done something bad, if I'm doing something like the way God doesn't want me to go. But they're so incredibly bright. It's almost blinding, and it's so energizing. A lot of times God actually takes me out of the vision, ironically, and I get to watch myself in third person.
Mm-hmm.
It's the weirdest thing.
What colors do you see in?
It depends on the vision. So if you want to talk about one, I can tell you about my other visions.
No. We don't have time all night tonight to talk about vision.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to talk to you personally about that. But what color, when you saw your vision, did you see?
In this one, about the Iraq vision, okay?
Yeah.
So it started off, and I saw multiple dollars. I couldn't quite tell if they were all only Iraq money or if it was every country worldwide.
What color were they?
What I saw, bright, multiple colors. They were, reds, yellows.
Red?
I mean, I saw Iraq money, but I'm pretty sure it happened very fast, but I'm very sure I saw multiple different countries. And so I saw two things, hear me out all the way. So I saw multiple people holding wads of dollars in their hands, and they threw them down. People dropped money. Okay? So I'll explain my vision. I'll explain what I believe it means. So I saw multiple hands holding wads of money, and people dropped the money. And I saw a real bad sadness. A lot of people were depressed sort of worldwide, and I'll explain in a few minutes here what that means. And I saw a level of anger. A lot of people were very upset. And then money just dropped worldwide. Just drop.
What color was that? What color was that drop?
Well, I saw people letting go of the money. Like, money is almost meaningless. And then in the middle of all these drops, okay, all of a sudden Iraq's economy just skyrocketed. So this was before I saw the Kim Clement prophecy. Now, granted, the Kim Clement prophecy was before my vision, but I didn't know about it. And I saw people dropping their money, okay? And so with that being said, what I think God was showing me is a lot of people got this expecting it to go instantly. It's not. You're going to have to be patient. So that was the end of my vision, that people were just dropping money, people were angry, and then it shoots up.
Hey, brother, I hate to cut you off. Okay? But the conversation you and I need to have is off the air, and I can't do this right now. But trust me, you and I are going to do it like in a while, okay?
Am I still live right now?
You're still very live.
Okay, all I'm saying is telling people, be patient.
Okay.
Be patient, because we're going to see a very rough time, the possibility of multiple dollars coming down before the Iraq shoots up. So I'm not sure why, but countries will come down, economies will come down, dollars will come down. It may be a very rough time. There's a lot of sadness, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration. I've never sensed this level of evil, or this level of anger. People are going to be upset with the Iraq money, with the world money, and then all of a sudden it shoots up. I don't know if the economies are coming down or what, but dollars are going to fall, is what I saw.
No, I understand, brother. I totally understand. And we're going to call you back, okay? I appreciate your phone call and your vision, and I thank you for calling in, because it took a lot of bravery for you to do that. And we're gonna talk later on, okay?
Yes, sir. Feel free to call back.
God bless you, and God bless your service. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. It's very difficult for people to understand that people that are under extreme stress, for them to convey their message to people. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, I think, and that's the thing, like, not everybody can go live. Not everybody can talk on this kind of platform. And that's what I was kind of saying to you offline about some of the other people that do Dinar Conversation
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, like we had Nano in the chat the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he wanted to be live. And there's
shout out to Nanu though.
Yeah, definitely love him. But, you know, it's different. People get stage fright. It's almost like, and Brandon is an excellent speaker. He does it on his job all the time. So, you know, there's sometimes people get stage fright. No.
Oh yeah.
I have to envision people like naked, and initially it takes me a minute to warm up, and sometimes I get lost in the conversation, so it takes me a minute to get there.
Y'all, this is definitely going to go ahead and just be call-in Friday, so let's do another call.
Call from
Giovanni.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Giovanni, you're live.
Hi, Mr. Brando.
Mr. Brando.
Mr. Brando, man. Hey, Mr. Brando, I'm a big fan of you, man. First off, I just want to tell you I'm a big fan of you. Thank you for taking on my life. Out of everyone that I've been this for around 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I try to connect the pose with myself. I like live in my own head with this, man. Mr. Brando, I have one question for you.
Go ahead, brother.
Do you think that all of this politics in Iraq, do you think that the politics is part of Iraq is done? Because what's happening in Iraq is pretty much phenomenal. Everything that's happening in Iraq is phenomenal. The new president, the prime minister, it's pretty weird how they haven't elected the last ministers yet.
Right.
Which is pretty odd. But do you think this is all connected for a reason? What's your take on it?
Okay, so there's a couple different thoughts on that. That yes, holding up those two last ministers, defense and interior, because it's so important, is interconnected to the whole revaluation or the reinstatement. So yes, I do believe that. And number two, there's so much going on in the world, period. Whether it be here, Britain, Venezuela, Iran, there's so much people that are going through so many things that I think that, you know, we overlook everything with having dinar goggles. Does that make sense? Because we want our blessing right now, but there's a lot of weird things going on that we can't explain. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's completely true. Now, what's your take in Mr. Donald Trump? Him, I don't know if you follow him on Instagram. I look at every single post that man posts every single day. He's been talking about Iraq a lot recently. He posted some posts speaking to the Speaker of the House, Madam, saying that he's going to postpone the trip to Egypt and Afghanistan. What's your take in that? I was kind of confused. Why would he want to postpone that worldwide economic event that people do there? I mean, I honestly think he should be there. So I heard that it will reevaluate when he is out of the country, and that's what I thought he was going to go do, to go to that world meeting or something like that.
Davos. You're talking about Davos.
For some reason.
Yeah, the event's called Davos, and every year all these world leaders get together at the same time, and billionaires and gazillionaires, and they all get together and they bounce ideas off each other. And at that time, a lot of the geopolitical things that go on in the world go on right now. Now, the reason why he's not going to Davos is not because of Iraq. The reason why, in my opinion, now this is only my opinion, okay? Because America needs fixing first. We need to get our own geopolitical scene right. You feel me? Like, we need to get these federal employees back to work. We got to get the government back together. It's not the time for travel. That's why he neglected Pelosi's travel. That's why he's sent these letters out to all these different cabinet members that you're not going to travel right now, because right now it needs to be centralized right here on America, not on abroad. So no, I don't think it has anything to do with Iraq, but I do definitely think that it's not any secret that we have sent 3 major delegates over there in the last couple weeks, months. So we know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know there's Iraq's on the brain, but right now it's just not that time to really push it forward. We've got to fix what we're doing right here first, and then we can go abroad.
Definitely. I completely agree with you. That's completely true. And another question, I'm sorry to take up all your time.
No, do your thing, bro.
What's your goal in? I also heard that only around 1% out of Iraq would know about this revaluation out of the whole world. And what do you think these Iraqi people? Do you think they honestly believe in this revaluation?
They don't know anything about it.
We don't live in that. They don't know anything about it.
No,
either, right?
no. Okay, imagine this, my friend. Do you know what the dollar floats against the SRD basket, SDR basket daily?
I do not see.
No, we don't. We as Americans don't. So all Iraqis know is that one day they're going to get purchasing power. One day they're going to live without a night without terrorism going on, bombs going off, gunfire. I mean, they don't look at it like from my friends that I've talked to in Iraq about, oh, or one day we're going to be rich. They're not going to ever be rich. There's no riches. I mean, they're going to have purchasing power. What that means to them is when they go to the store, they're going to be able to buy bread, milk, butter, stuff like that, like meat. And it's going to be available readily. It's not like rich to them is like a whole different thing that rich to an American would be. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's why I think
the
most.
Good thing also, the good thing also that I also wanted to let you know, there is a lot of groups out there. I don't know if you follow these gurus and Bruce. You get me? That guy's full of shit. He's pretty much is explaining that there's some groups that are being paid out already, that they have been paid out, like the federal groups. All these groups been paid out. I actually know myself a few groups that are with companies waiting for a revaluation after it happens. You get me? They keep a certain percentage or whatnot, but this is only after the revaluation. Nothing before, no upfront after. So you get me? And just for you get me, I'm not trying to put anyone's hopes up, but those companies those people that I know that are in groups, those companies have been releasing a lot of good information. You get me? They always got to be ready, you could say. So they have been releasing a lot of good information.
Bro,
hey, get ready just in case,
Right. There's transparency in everything.
I know it's been many years. Yeah. I know it's been many years, man, but pretty much what's coming out of Iraq is phenomenal. And I've always been a fan of politics or whatnot about the world. And it's crazy, man. It's crazy how one day Iraq was this place and now they're trying to be this type of place. So something's happening, man. I don't know if you believe, man, something is happening. And
I do.
God's favor for us, man. If this is God's favor for us, man, I believe it's for us. At the end of the day, if it's not for us, it's not for us. But if it's for us, it's for us. There's no way around it. It's
for us, based upon Article 13.303 and Article 39, our presence bestowed upon us. I appreciate your call, brother, and I really appreciate you looking out and in your thoughts and just taking time to call. Okay.
Yes, sir, my brother. I watch you every time you go live, man.
Man.
I appreciate what you do, man. I know you don't gain anything out of this, man, but I know one day, man, you'll get it back.
Bro, thank you, bro.
I know your blessing will come through, man. Hopefully.
And yours too.
A lot of people go in calls with. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people go through stuff, talk to other people who do the same thing, and they say, look, I really need this to happen. I'm going through this.
We all do.
Man. So there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff, man. And I honestly think they need a change in their life, especially not even here in Iraq as well, too. Those guys don't even have clean water, So I honestly, man, I think something has to happen,
And our federal workers need it. I mean, they're not getting paid right now.
Right. There's a lot of people out there that are in a lot of need.
The Iraqis do not have their IQ cards active yet, right?
Right. They have their cards are active. The Q cards are active. The Q cards are active. They're not international.
They're not international.
Meaning that a visa is only a visa inside of Iraq, as my understanding goes.
True. Yeah, it's minor. I don't know if it was big news for you when you saw that supposedly they're reporting the rape out of another place in Iraq. I know they used to do it in Baghdad. Now they're doing it somewhere else.
Bro,
they're like, I guess.
My brother, I can't speak on that right now, but I got in their call real quick. I've got to take them real quick. I'm gonna let you go, okay?
I appreciate it, my brother. I appreciate you picking up, man. Have a good night. Okay?
Anytime. You too, man.
You too, my brother.
You're live.
Yes,
Hello?
I hear you.
Okay, my bad. Hold on. Hello?
Next caller. I think you have to hit a button though, right?
I did. Swap.
No, but I mean, after that, you still have to hit 1 or 2.
Bro? Okay.
Yeah, you have to hang up all the way.
Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call back that last caller.
So, Shakir wants to know what you vaping on.
This is called mouth orgasm, actually.
Okay.
One of my favorite ones. Hello?
Call from. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press.
Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Brando.
Is this Gmo? Hello?
Hello?
Is this Mr. Gmo? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Gmo, turn your TV down or your device down so we can talk better.
Okay, I got it now.
Okay. What's your question, brother? You're live.
Yeah, so I've heard Caparoni say that there's not one single event that's going to trigger this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at it, there's a combination of events that's happening all the time. At some point in time, something's going to have to happen that's going to trigger it.
Of course.
Now, I've heard you say when we get the government seated, then we'll be good to go. And we got 2 positions left. But at the same time, I've seen articles here recently saying that they can remove people from, certain positions in that seats, further stalling us out. What do you think is going to happen with that?
Okay, well, first of all, it's just my opinion, okay? There's 3 seats that we need filled. 3 seats. We need the education, the interior minister, and minister of interior, defense, interior, education. Education just resigned. They're going to get refilled. Defense and interior are the main ones. Now, if anything's going to stall us out, it's going to be education, because that person that was removed, it was very difficult for them to do. She's still holding it as proxy until they find somebody else. So, I mean, I'm going to tell you this. Is there something that's always going to hold them up? Yes. Always. Is there something that can supersede that? That's more important than that? Yes. More important, if you get an interior minister, okay? That person has access to the donor conference money, okay? To get a touch on that donor conference money, you have to be international, okay? You have to be. Abadi was the whole defense minister for years. Give or take, yes or no, he rid of them of ISIS, whatever. But he was the interior defense minister for years. So the interior minister, to me, is the key to everything. And when they say he's seated, they're good, he's sworn in, whether it be one of the 3 names they just put forth, Fiad, whatever, they just need to go forward with that person and let that shine. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's it. Now, does that make it the end all be all? Could they come up with something else? Like they need a mermaid minister? They could. But I'm telling you that as soon as they touch that donor conference money, Katie bar the door. And I'm telling you this. My sources told me, not my sources, my friend told me that Matak was, my friend told me that Alak was going to be replaced as a CBI governor. Now, Iraqis hate Alak. Okay, they hate him. His family was very much loved and revered for years, but now he's not. If he's removed, why would he be removed? Because something's coming down the pipe.
Let me ask you what you just said. Right before I got the notification that your video was going on air, I seen that Currency 365 got a video out, and it says that Abadi is going to be the next CBI governor. So I'm going to watch that and see. Like that's a major step down in position for him. And I mean, it's coming out now that, you know, he was, you know, crooked. So I wonder how that could be.
Okay, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. A body was just forced out of the palace, right? Recently, right? A body was told that he was not going to be the next PM again, right? A body is just basically holding on his parliamentary seat because he got enough votes. I'm not trying to say anything against whoever said it. What's his name?
365.
365. And he's a good guy. He's a good guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just telling you that my vibe is, this is just me. He's not going to be one of the 3 presidents. If he is, I've already reached out to people in Iraq. I've asked them. They haven't replied to me yet. But I don't think they're going to allow anybody that allowed the government he ran roughshod like he did to be anything in the next parliament. But maybe just a parliamentary seat. That's just my only thing. Okay?
I'm inclined to agree with you. It don't make sense to me either. So I'm gonna watch the video. I just didn't have a choice. Either go back and watch his or be late for your show and that.
No, bro. No. I'm gonna tell you all day long. Always search out the best possible information to what helps you the best. Whether it's me, 365, Nanu, Bottle Brad, I'm shouting them all out. They're all good people, right? We're all trying to achieve the same thing. But I'm just trying to tell you, if you want a pragmatic point of view towards, I'm not reporting their stuff. You feel me? I'm not ever going to tell you what's on their channel. I don't know what's on their channels. I don't watch them anymore. Because I got tired of looking at things that I couldn't explain or understand.
Well, I think everybody has their own
opinion. Because none of us have a degree in dinar, right?
Right. And none of us have a crystal ball, but you can go based off of what you read.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
And you can give your opinion and your best guess about or how you feel. Right?
We all got in this off of speculation and it was very opaque. We're just trying to make it more transparent. That's all we're trying to do, right?
Right.
That's all of us trying to do.
Okay. All right, so lastly, so you said they have to be able to touch that donor conference money, right?
Correct.
Last year, right?
Right.
All right, so what's coming up with Davos? What are they trying to accomplish this year? What's so important about Davos this year?
Nothing. Davos has zero to do with what we're doing. I'm going on record as saying it. Davos has nothing to do with what we're doing. The only thing that's really prevalent to Davos is that 2% commission on $20 category or less bills that can be accepted from the CBI. That's it. Davos is moot. The Arab conference was moot. Didn't make a deal.
Cool.
Nothing changed. Nothing happened. All these people, it's like the budget. I'm going to give you an example. I used to follow all these people that said every year, the budget, the budget, the budget, the budget. And year after year, I used to watch the budget, the budget, the budget. But you know what never happened?
The budget was never open.
It was never opened.
It was never posted in
the Gazette. It was never posted in the Gazette. But you know what?
I kept looking in that Gazette like it was the Bible.
Now, this year, when they post...
They saying they got a surplus in the budget. So if they never opened it, how they got a surplus?
Well, because, I almost slipped. You saw, you good. You smart. You very smart. But I'm going to tell you like this here. If they put the budget this year in the Gazette, they ain't got to open it. You know what they got to do?
What they got to do?
I'm going to tell y'all a secret. You want a jewel for tonight? You want the internet to break right now?
What they got to do?
They got to tell you where they're allocating money and what they're putting money towards. Because if you know that, you know if they're going to revalue their currency or not. DJ Khaled, you damn right. Did you hear me? If you know what they're putting money towards and you know what they're investing in, then you know where the donor money is going. Okay?
Hey, I can see y'all on the screen, but it's breaking up.
Okay.
That's my time. That's all I have for you guys. I'm gonna continue watching to get off so somebody else can call in. Maybe they got a better connection.
All right, bro. We'll talk later. Bye.
Bye. Bye for now.
Okay, y'all. I'll say it one more time. The budget this year is the only year that I can ever think of that doesn't have to be opened. If they tell you what they're allocating money towards and what they're doing with those monies, it's better than them opening it because they're telling what they're going to invest in. If they invest in certain things, then we're all good. Okay? It's kind of like the Iraqi Stock Exchange. If we know that Warka Bank or Rafididian Bank sits down with CBI and says, what do we got to do to be international? The money's going to revalue. Plain and simple.
I want dinar, ladies. Cheers. Happy Friday.
What? What is that? What's going on there?
Because we're in the
I
chat.
didn't get up to all the news. Is anybody else want to call? Because the news is shot.
Everybody's got their drinks ready.
Okay.
It's cocktails and conversations. Let's go.
I am like so lost.
Well, I've been reading stuff to you.
Okay.
But are you done reading the news?
No, the news is not going to be done in like 15 minutes. So y'all, we're good. Y'all just call in. Call in. You want to vent? You want to talk about the wall? There we go.
Let's not talk about that wall.
Hello?
Call from
Press 1.
Yannick.
to accept, press 1.
Yannick?
Yeah, hello?
Hello? Yannick, you're live.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Brando?
Hi there. You're live.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you.
You might have to bring it closer.
Okay,
to
good. I have a question for you, Mr. Brando. I want to thank you for your show, by the way. You're great, very nice. I'm calling from Canada.
Hey, Canadian Aid, do you drink Molson Ice?
What's that?
Yeah, a lot.
When I was in college, I drank a lot of Molson.
Oh yeah, really? Yeah, you know that's that kind of beer.
Yeah, Molson's good beer, yeah.
It's strong.
Very strong.
We drink strong beer here.
You surely do. I love your beer.
Good. So look, I'm pretty new in this dinar world, and I'm still trying to connect the dots as you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is like the correlation between the gas price, the petrol. I mean,
Yeah.
if because I've heard that there's two way of thinking. Some are saying that United States find a lot of petrol, but it looks like they want a U.S. government, and they try to emerge petrol on the market, so to lower the price, so it would put pressure on Iraq to revalue its currency.
Well, more.
I don't know what you're thinking about that.
Okay, so I'm going to hang up with you, okay? I'm going to answer it so I hang up so someone else can call, okay? But I'm going to answer it right now.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to hang up. So to answer that question correctly, I don't think the United States government is going to put pressure on Iraq, but it's going to put pressure on OPEC. OPEC needs to be broken, and that's what Donald Trump's doing. So he's not going to let the oil prices affect the American oil worker, basically. So no, it's not going to pressure Iraq. But what the United States is doing is isolating Iraq by buying 17% of their oil reserves and allowing them to emerge inside of American markets to subsidize their trade with Iran. Okay. Now, with that, it's going to put tremendous pressure on them. Now, when you have pressure on a country that your currency doesn't allow you to, let's say, revalue the way you want it to, it only allows them to trade amongst who they can trade with, which is not very many people. Okay.
Moxie. Hello.
Hey, Moxie.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. How you doing, man?
Not too bad. It's a fantastic Friday.
Yes, it
is.
Thank God.
So, I want to know from a scale of 1 to 10, what's your take on the next 2 weeks with this reevaluation? What do you guys think that's going to happen with the CBI and our Treasury pulling the trigger on this thing?
Did you cut it?
Okay, my opinion in the next 2 weeks is this. It's about a 7.5. And the reason why I'm not going higher, and the only reason is because I want to know what happens to a lock first. If I see a lock get replaced, I'm going up to 15.
15 what?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely that I'm going to see something happen in the next few weeks. If I see a lock get up replaced next week, like I think he is.
That's somewhere out of space. You said 15?
What? 15. Now.
So when do you think that's going to happen?
By the 20th. Before the 20th.
The 20th.
Okay, so this weekend possibly,
yeah.
right?
Possibly, yes. Solder, in as many as I know, Iraqi politicians want a lock out. A lock is the guy that could revalue because he's trying to snub his nose at them, or he's the guy they want out of there because they want him out of there. Okay.
Right, but how much pull do you think the Treasury has in pulling the trigger on this thing too? Because they're funding this whole thing, right?
Zero. If you have a sovereign nation, one sovereign nation cannot tell another sovereign nation what to do. Can't. Either you believe that Iraq is its own country, or you believe that the United States runs Iraq.
Well,
I mean, we could argue it.
All I know is we owe Iraq owes the United States trillions. Okay.
No. Hold on. If you want to argue that point, hold on. Let's talk about that for a second.
Well, I'm not arguing.
No. I'm saying this in the spirit of talking. Okay, I don't mean that like that. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. First of all, Iraq never asked to be invaded.
Right.
They never had a dictator tell any of the American public that they were going to allow American citizens to buy their currency or buy their property or do anything else with the hopes that one day, if it revalued, they were going to be held as like a sovereign person from Iraq, right?
Okay.
So yeah, we're into them for $7 trillion, but that's the cost of doing business when you're trying to control an oil nation.
Well, and yeah, we want the oil too.
Well, yeah, it's all about energy. That's all it's about.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not trying to be mean either. Okay. I mean,
no, you're good.
I mean, I don't want to sound like an ass. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to sound like a dick. But what I'm saying is that a lot of people are going to sit here and say, well, yeah, they owe us and they owe us. And no, they don't. We don't owe them and they don't owe us nothing. But you know what they do got to do based upon their pledge to the IMF is reinstate their currency. They told the IMF they're going to do that.
Right.
Now, based upon that fact and what our reserves are holding, they're going to pay for the war 50 times over. 50 times, not 7 or 10 or 5. They're going to pay us back in spades. Not just from what they have in the reserves, from what we trade in, because everything that we exchange is going straight to our foreign exchange, to our foreign currency reserves. So it's going to pay for itself 50 times over.
Right.
Now,
just like Kuwait and what Clinton did, right?
Yeah, you smart. You very smart.
Yeah,
you smart. Yeah.
So,
now you see my thought.
Exactly, and I get you there. So let's change gears a little bit.
Okay.
So let's talk about Vietnam for a minute.
Okay.
So my take, and this is just my take.
Okay.
Okay. The dong is a floating currency right now. Okay.
Right.
And IMF put it on the float, but my question is why hasn't? And this is just me.
Mm-hmm.
Because for the last, let's say, 7 years to 10 years, Vietnam's economy's been 7% plus every year.
Every year.
Okay?
Yeah.
Their economy's blowing everything away. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And in 1963, 64, before we went to the war, their rate was like, let's say, 220.
Right.
American dollar. Okay?
Right.
Now it's basically toilet paper. All right. So being that it's on the float, why wouldn't they? I guess my question is why is everybody waiting on Iraq when Vietnam could take and change their currency at any time to help their economy? Because what I'm hearing over there is that when people buy goods, they're paying American dollar rates for things in the dong. Okay?
Correct. Yeah, in Vietnamese money. Yeah.
They're basically starving. Okay.
Right.
So what have you heard about where the dong comes into play with this? Because, you know, I seen your video the other night and you talked about all the currencies not being in a basket and
Mm-hmm.
that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think that, you know, each one is going to reevaluated all at the same time.
Correct.
So I just want your take on that.
Okay, I'm going to hang up with you just in case so I don't cut off another caller, okay? But I'll answer it right now. Thanks for calling.
Okay.
I have a friend that lives in Vietnam, and their belief is that the Vietnamese dollar will never revalue. And they work in the school system, and they say that no way, no how it's ever going to revalue. So it's just like anybody else. They say it won't, but it could. And if it did, what would happen? Okay. So the idea is that will it revalue? I believe it will. Same basket of currency? Absolutely not. Why? Because it's never happened in all the times that any country's ever revalued ever. So I don't believe that's going to happen. And it could happen. I'm not saying it couldn't. I'm just saying, in my humble opinion, it's not going to happen. And if it did, it would be a miracle of all miracles. So I do believe that the dong will revalue because based upon their GDP, based upon their manufacturing, based upon their natural resource, based upon a lot of good things and their growth, they're going to revalue, but just not the exact same time that the dinar will. And hey, John, I got you on the phone.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, go ahead, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on as always, and thanks for the support to the chat group. Really appreciate it. I'm just going to get right to it because I know everybody wants to hear the juicy stuff. So I'll just tell you what I have to the best of my ability from the different sources I just got about 2 hours ago. Okay. Firstly, I'm going to agree with you in the moderator chat room. From what I understand, tomorrow President's going to make an announcement about the border wall and the ending of the shutdown. Additionally, I think by Sunday or Monday, he's going to announce the China trade agreement. He wanted the wall to go first from the intel that we have on the inside, that you know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
This came from Don, the mentor that I talked about. So a couple of things here as far as the reset. So what we understand is the president's working hard to make this reset as painless as possible. Problem is the reset causes losses to banksters to destroy the remaining grip of a world scene. So it is worth it. What they're focusing on, and you know about this, is the new QFS, the quantitative financial system. For those who don't know what that means, basically the dollar right now is about 95% digital backed. They want it to go to about 99.5%, which is going to help them the offset, the reset with the derivatives and the interest. This also is to mean huge deposits that are safe from reposits. So backing those wires out of our accounts, this pertains to the private placement specifically. That's part of the reason why it's important for us to be patient, like BB says, a little bit longer. So somebody asked me about the private placement that I'm in, or de facto placement I'm involved with TON. So first time we got some really good stuff. The Admiral has been in Reno all day, told us tonight earlier, the paymaster said on the Zim, he feels this will be for real this time. And the reason is because Wells Fargo is full of enforcement officers that are going to oversee the wires tonight. Our trust, this is coming from him, our trust in the first deal to receive most likely Tuesday, possibly tomorrow if the crews work overtime. But he's a conservative guy, so most likely Tuesday or Wednesday, he should get paid out in the Zim, and then it goes right into the dinar private placements.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I have.
Okay, bro, I thank you. And I want you to go ahead and send me any article that substantiates exactly what you're talking about, and we'll post it up, and we'll see what happens. Okay, bro?
Yeah, I'll shoot you the email. We'll go through it, and
we'll talk in private.
Sounds good.
Thank you, bro. Bye.
Yep.
I got a call from somebody, so I'm going to call them back. We don't have much time, so we only have a few minutes. So I'm going to call this person back. I don't know who this is. All right. So they may call back later.
Got 3 minutes.
We got 3 minutes. So anybody else want to call in? Got a question, need an answer? Oh, we got Cocoa, Florida right here. Let's see if they answer.
Yes.
Cocoa, Florida, somebody else.
Hello.
Hello, you called earlier to Mr. Brando.
Yes, I was calling for Mr. Brando.
Hey, this is Mr. Brando. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I guess I'm in a little lag time. That's why I'm surprised you called back. Linda and I have been following you for about 4 weeks now. We enjoy the show. Hi, Miss April. We love you guys.
Thank you. We love you too.
Yeah, and I just want to let you know that, I've been following the dinar. My wife and I have been following the dinar for about 5.5 years. And I've been studying it both on the geopolitical side and also on the spiritual side. In fact, we sent you a video.
I got it. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
The mystery of the Iraqi Dinar.
Yes, I did. I saw it. You guys have a good ministry going on.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. Well, I was saying my take on this whole event that I've been, putting the pieces of the puzzle together as we all try. My take on this is that remember when the Chinese and the BRICS were planning to change the method of their system to the SIPs from the SWIFT?
Yes, I do.
I think that's my take. I think what's going to happen, this is how I feel it's going to happen. Listening to Kim Clement's prophecies and how he said there'll be a why now moment and there'll be a break in the system. And a lot of people have a different takes on what is the break in systems. Mm-hmm. I truly believe because Donald Trump is now attacking the Federal Reserve, and that was one of the things you can hear a lot about on the internet, that the Federal Reserve is in trouble. They're going to be audited. They're probably going to be found out for stealing from the American people and the governments. My take is that we'll see that happen. And when that happens, it will cause a disruption of, the whole industry of currency throughout the whole globe, because the whole system is tied to our federal bank system. And most of the systems in the world, all the world banks of the world, are connected to these type of people that have been controlling the monies of the world. And that's why we have so many disparities of currencies. Talking about the dong earlier, mm-hmm. The dong is like toilet paper, and we know China has their hands on Vietnam.
Right.
They make decisions for them a lot of times. So my position is this, my feelings is this. After studying this whole thing, listening to everyone's point of views and everything, I really believe, my own personal opinion, that we're going to see a break in the financial system in the United States as well as the world. When that break happens, they have to change the system because the SWIFT system has been corrupted. And there's no way we can use the same system that we've always used, because now they're transitioning into something different. If this truly is where multiple currencies are going to exchange, and Mr. Trump did mention that in March of 2017 when he was in Japan, that there'll be a change in currencies globally, mm-hmm. and make it all on a level playing field. I have to believe that in order for this system to be working properly, they need to change it, and that's where the SIPs would come in, where it's all digital, and there's no way people can do transactions without having a digital signature. How do you feel about that?
Okay, I'm going to hang up because I got to call someone back. I'm going to answer that, okay?
Okay, sounds good. I appreciate you all both very much. We enjoy your show.
We enjoy the heck out of you too, and keep texting and emailing and everything, okay? I'll call one last call. We're going to do this right now. The digital signature is the key to stopping corruption on a massive level, okay? So yeah, but can a computer be hacked? Yes. So who's to say that a manipulative system wouldn't come from those alternative systems that are going to be emerged? So we don't know, but I'm just going to say a break in the system to me would be if they got rid of Amiri, they got rid of Maliki, and they got rid of the 9 people that actually hold the Iraqi government hostage. That would be a break in the system to me with Iraq. Now, a break in the system as far as what's happening with us right now would be definitely if we could see everybody go to a digital system, because the United States is already on a digital system. Nobody else really is except for Europe and a few other places. Iraq is not. They're still in the Stone Ages, but they're getting better. Okay? Hello?
Hey, Mr. Brando, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, man? We're calling you back from Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, it's Oklahoma house. How you doing?
Hey, what up, man? OKC, what up?
Huh?
OKC, what's up?
Oh, yeah. Nothing much, man. We're just chilling down there. I had a question for you.
Go ahead, bro.
Partly question, and partly statement. So, You know we need 3 counted 4 to complete the government, correct?
Correct. Well, I know 3. I don't know 4. I know 3.
Well, there's supposed to be one more technically, but I don't think it really matters from what I was looking at. But anyway, the question is, do you really think we're going to get those names by the end of January? You think they're going to float it over to February?
No, I really think they're going to try to get those done by the end of January. And the reason is because they're only holding up their own progress. So they've held up for so long that I just think now they're trying to get it done. Okay.
Yeah. And also, I don't know if you've seen, and there's an article that came out today, and I totally just missed it because I read it and then I kind of just missed it. But it said something about, I want to say, Britain coming in and helping them with their completion of reforms.
Yeah, Great Britain came with their own reform policy that it was out the other day. I reported on it. Great Britain came out the other day and said, hey, look, we've got a system to help Iraq reform their whole government.
So do you think because of that, we're going to really move forward?
No, because they can't get Brexit right. If they get Brexit right, then they can fix Iraq, but they can't get their own shit right. So I don't see them getting Iraq right when they can't get themselves right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, well, you can't figure out your own.
Exactly.
So how you going to figure theirs out?
Exactly. Trying to manage, like, think about this. If I'm low down and dirty and trying to manage my neighbor's business, but I can't manage my own damn business. Exactly.
Okay. That's
all right, bro.
That's what I figured. But hey, I appreciate you guys showing, man. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. Now have a good one. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. There was one caller that called from Illinois. So let's just call him back real fast. Well, this is it. This is the last call, y'all. Don't call. I won't answer. Miss BB's gonna get mad at me.
I'm gonna be missing in action.
I'll get back to you as soon as I
can. All right. So you didn't answer. Y'all, so we talked about transparency tonight. We talked about what we felt like was going to be a big deal with Iraq. We talked about what they're telling us, what they're not telling us. I'll post some links in the description. I appreciate every single caller and every single person that's reached out. I'm sorry we don't have time every night to get to everybody.
But guess what? We're here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So if we didn't get you today, we'll get you on Monday.
I am Mr. Brando.
And I'm April BB, and I'm wishing you a great, awesome weekend.
And hey, chill, have a great one, have a drink. Good night.
Good night, people.